Hello and welcome to your P2P Live. I am your host, Hannah Slee. Have you mapped out a real strategy for finding work abroad, or are you winging it? This week we are joined by Maddie Lang, Senior Recruitment Consultant, to unpack essential strategies, hidden challenges and game-changing insights for anyone looking to secure their dream job while making a move overseas. Also on today's show, are things looking up for the London job market after the latest labour statistics? We'll explore our latest job opportunities across the UK. And lastly, we'll reveal our new social media insights on hiring bias, where we ask if you think your employer would be hesitant to hire someone over the age of 65. Hi, Maddie.
Hey, Hannah, how are you?
Good, I'm very good, thank you. Now, today we're diving into something a lot of people are thinking about, moving to a new country and starting completely fresh, especially when it comes to, finding a job. And whether you're chasing adventure, travel, a better lifestyle, a new career, relocation comes with loads of unknowns. And obviously it's something you've got experience of when you moved over.
Yeah.
In 2 years since you moved to the UK, and I know we've got you on today to talk about your personal perspective, experience, I guess, and any professional advice that you've got as a recruiter. So let's dive straight in. What was that experience of moving over like, especially when it came to finding a job?
Yeah, definitely exciting, but also, so daunting. I think, especially as an Australian moving to the UK, we have really good opportunities for visas. So that transition over can be quite simple at times. But then, the second kind of instance of finding a job is definitely when, I guess, like the reality hits. And one of the first things I learned was definitely being, really prepared and making sure you're doing your research does make all the difference. And doing that research, before you arrive as well, I think is really key to moving to a new country and having to find a job as well.
Yeah, definitely. So say someone has decided they want to move over. Step one, what's the very first thing that they should do if they're planning to move, and looking at relating to the job search?
Yes, I think the first thing which I found really important, and I also always recommend to candidates I'm speaking with, is update your LinkedIn profile straight away. So make sure that you have your status set as open to work. Make sure you have your status set to the correct country. So if you're moving to London, put your status open to work in London, not in Sydney, if that's not where you're looking for work. Because that way, you're going to give yourself a profile in the country that you're moving to. People are going to be able to put a face to your resume as well, which I think is really key. And recruiters or people in our situation have the ability to start searching through LinkedIn and finding people that are open to work as well. So you can kind of be passively looking before you even arrive, which I think is such a key thing. And, LinkedIn is a huge advantage and really big network people need to look into, especially when you're moving to a new job and looking for new work, because it just gives you that presence online.
Yeah, and what about work eligibility? Because there's many different visas, especially coming from another country. How important is that to factor into the hiring process?
Yeah, it's huge. Recruiters and hiring managers, we're always going to ask, can we legally hire this person, and can this person, legally work within this country? So it's really essential to understand your working rights in the country that you're moving to, and being able to explain your visa work status clearly as well, because not everybody knows, all the different visas that are out there. There's so many new visas coming through. So being able to make sure that you can clearly explain what your legal working rights are to a recruiter or a hiring manager is going to help within the process, and just make sure your conversations are all moving forward, quick, and there's no delays, and a business knows straight away that there's no issue with them being able to employ you.
And what about connecting with recruiters? Is that something people should be doing before they move or after?
Yeah, absolutely. We could be a little bit biased in this, but even if I was in this situation, and when I was, I definitely looked engaged with other recruiters as well. There's a couple of reasons why. We always recommend reaching out to local recruiters ahead of time, because that individual always talks to candidates, always talks to clients every day. So not only are they going to be able to help you with your job search, but they're also just going to give you some really good market insight and understanding of what's going on, what roles are playing, if positions are moving quite quick or if they're slower as well. And then you're going to have an understanding about, well, which areas of your skill set might be in demand, what's a realistic salary expectation for you to look at. And then they're also going to be able to help you in the job search as well. But I think the biggest thing is probably just being able to give you that kind of first-hand experience and expectation of what to look for is key to something a recruiter can help you with.
Definitely. And what kind of preparation would you suggest that someone does before they apply to a role?
Yeah, so you want to research the types of roles that you're aiming for. You need to know about your salary expectations and which industries are stronger in your new location, and really focusing on, what skills of yours in your past roles are going to be transferable and relevant to work in the new country that you're moving. And I think it's key to know that just because you earn a certain salary in a previous country doesn't mean that you're going to earn that same salary where you're going. You can't just convert it, to the currency and expect to get a like for like. Salaries really depend on local supply and demand, cost of living, and other economic factors as well. So I think that's something key to understand. There is going to be a difference, whether it's an increase or decrease. You need to have an understanding about what that is before you start looking for jobs as well.
Yeah, and just to echo that, I think in the UK, the salaries are, very volatile at the moment, especially with the cost of living being high. So it's about looking at what is realistic, and that's why speaking to not just one, maybe 2, 3 different recruiters to get their opinion, because we've seen it quite a lot where people have moved over and the salary isn't what they thought it would be, and that can be difficult to navigate, especially when they've planned their accommodation and lifestyle around that. So I think before you move over, that's definitely something to speak to a recruiter about, someone who's seeing these salaries day in, day out. The last thing saying is we'd want to cut people's salaries down. We would never say that, but we also want to be realistic about if you move over with an expectation and you can't find a role within that expectation, that's sometimes where the difficulty comes from. We never want to put people in that position.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what role does someone's network play in all of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's such a big thing, which is why getting your LinkedIn, set up and up to date is probably like the first thing we do always recommend. But outside of your kind of online network, having a look and reaching out to maybe former colleagues that are in the new location. So if you're moving to London, have you worked with anyone, from Sydney, for example, that's in London? Reach out to them, ask if they've got opportunities going on in their businesses. Reach out to your friends. They might know someone who knows someone who's hiring. And then again, even LinkedIn connections, you may not personally know the person, but put a post out there, start to chat to people, connect on their posts, and opportunities may come through that way. It's really going to as well give you like insider information. You're going to build just your network professionally and personally. And, reaching out to people, sometimes you're presented with opportunities that aren't even like out to the market yet. So you're interviewing for a role where you're the only person in that interview process versus waiting for a role that's been advertised and there's hundreds of others in the process. So yeah, I think it's a massive thing and something that people maybe don't think is as necessary right now. But I think reaching out to your personal network is like just the biggest thing you can do in terms of finding a new job in a new country.
Sure. And if someone is thinking about making a move to the UK, can they reach out to you directly?
Yeah, definitely. So if you're planning to move to the UK and to London, which is where we're based and where we recruit within, then definitely we can help you with your job search or any questions that you may have. But as well, our wider business, we have offices in Australia and New Zealand. So if you may be wanting to move down under, get away from the UK, although summer's just hitting, so I think it's the perfect time to be here. But we can help you and connect you with people, in our other offices.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Maddie.
Thanks for having me again, Hannah.
No worries. So taking a look at our hot jobs, we are recruiting for a junior sales associate in London. This is paying around 28,000. We're looking for a legal and procurement lead for an architectural business in London. 60 to 70,000 is the salary on offer. We're also looking for 2025 temp candidates who are seeking new opportunities across London. There's competitive salaries on offer. So if you're interested, please do register with us for work. So this week we're looking at a market update from Talent Partners asking, are things looking up? And there is some cautious optimism. The UK labour market is showing signs of improvement. Employment is up, and for the first time in 2.5 years, the vacancy rate has stabilised. Some key takeaways: employment for people aged 16 to 64 has climbed to 75%, which is great to see, but unemployment has also edged up slightly to 4.4%. Traditional retail is still under pressure with more store closures happening, but sectors like tech, professional services, and even niche areas like immersive tech, they're booming. One of the biggest concerns remains economic inactivity, so still high at 21.5%. A major driver of this is longer-term health issues, which continue to limit the pool of available talent, especially in sectors that really need it. So are things looking up? Kind of. We're seeing progress, but there is still some work to do to get the labour market firing on all cylinders. Looking at our poll, so we asked you, is your business prioritising hiring or AI investment in 2025? Interestingly, 40% are hiring and AI investment is taking up 60% of the poll votes, which is really, really interesting. Now, I'd be really keen to find out if that AI investment is a bit more kind of around non-people specific related AI, or whether that's kind of taking over some people's roles or potential new roles. But that's a really interesting statistic to see. So we're going to ask you next week, do you think employers are hesitant to hire people over 65? Really keen to hear your thoughts on this, so please drop us a vote. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you same time next week.